Now let's convert our Webflow Ecommerce product page template into a CMS template that uses Shopify data. Let's just open the navigator and see our elements. In an ideal world, we could just copy the page wrapper element and paste it into our CMS template. But this will not work in our case. This is because the Webflow e-commerce elements and some other dynamic elements are not copyable between pages. To be able to copy and paste this page as a whole, we need to unlink all the dynamic elements that are using CMS data. Moreover, we need to exclude the Add to Cart block that contains the Add to Cart button, variant option selectors, and the quantity changers. This is because these components are used only in the Webflow e-commerce pages. Before starting to unlink the elements, I am just going to duplicate the page wrapper element, which is just a div block that wraps all the elements in my page. If you don't have a page wrapper in your page, you can just wrap everything in a div block, and that will do the job for you. I hide the duplicate page wrapper element and start unlinking all the elements. Make sure you have the navigator panel open so you can see the dynamic elements shown in purple. Let's unlink the product name, the price and the compare price, and the product description. I am going to simply delete the Add to Cart block since I can't move it to another page. Instead, I am going to use the classes that are used on the buttons so I can replicate styling on my Shopify components. Next, I am going to unlink my product image. And finally, the gallery thumbnails needs to be unlinked from the collection that they are connected to. This is all the changes that I needed to do for my e-commerce elements to be copyable. However, there are still dynamic elements in this page that are specific to this product page, like the backgrounds and the related products section. Let's also unlink those. Your page setup is very likely to be done with entirely different components. You may have more or fewer elements to unlink. The main objective of this unlinking process is making sure there is no element connected to CMS data. Let's finally unlink the related products collection list. Unlink the dynamic elements one by one, the image, the heading, the price, and the link element that is sourced dynamically. Now set the collection list source to none, and we are ready to move our page template. Select the page wrapper element and copy it by pressing Command+C. Now I go to my CMS product template. Select the body element and paste it by pressing Command+V. Let's bring it to the top so it's visible. The first thing I need to do is connecting my product ID. To do that, I am going to use Shopify Webflow app. Let's open it from the apps panel. Now, in the canvas, I select the element that is wrapping all my product details. Then in the app, I go to Store Builder and click Convert button. In the opening screen, I select the product container element. Doing this adds the SF product attribute to my element. Next, I need to set the product ID field as a value to the newly added SF product attribute. Now, select the product title. Go to Convert menu and select the product title component from the list. Next, select the product price element and in the Convert menu select the price component. And now, convert the compare price element. Let's also convert the product description element to Shopify component. And finally, let's configure our product gallery. First, select the main image, and in the Convert menu, select the product image. And in the last step, I am going to select the thumbnail image element and convert it to a thumbnail component. We have completed the Shopify configuration. Before bringing in the option selectors, quantity changers, and the Add to Cart button, I am going to quickly connect the content to the element from the CMS. I select the thumbnails collection and set its source to product gallery images. After that, I need to set the item background image to the product gallery image. Next, I will select the main image and set it to the product main image. Now, let's populate our basic product information. Product title, price, compared price, and the product description. And we are done. The only thing that is left to do is bringing in the option selectors, quantity changers, and the Add to Cart button into my product container. As you remember from the last video of this tutorial series, I had built my components by using the pre-configured Shopify components. Let's just copy them into the place. Now let's change the look of the buttons, the quantity changer input, and the layout by using the existing classes. I am going to fast forward this part of the video, since your elements and classes are completely different than mine. But what I am simply doing here is applying the same styles that I had in my Webflow Ecommerce components to my new elements. I do this just by using the same classes on my new elements. If you are a regular Webflow user, this process should be very familiar to you. My product page is almost complete. In the You Might Also Like section, I just want to display a set of products that are from the same collection as this product. To do that, I set the source of the collection list as the product CMS collection and set the displayed item limit to 4. Now I can connect the thumbnail content. Let's set the product image, the product title, and the price. Finally, I am going to connect the wrapping link element to the current product item. My collection list is ready. Now let's display only the items that belongs to the same collection as the current product. So I set my filter to display a product only if its product collections contains any product collections of the current product. Simple as that. I also built my similar product section. You can definitely add more specific filtering to this list, or create a field in the CMS to select the items individually, or even pull a selection of products from a Shopify meta field by using Shopify related products component. Let's also connect the page link and the page name to this breadcrumb text. And our product page is ready to go. The last but not the least, we have to remove the Webflow Ecommerce cart that is moved over to this page in the header component. Since I use the Shopify cart, this component becomes completely redundant. My only takeaways from this cart are the toggle button and the item count displayer in the page header. I am just going to replicate these elements by creating a rounded div block and then placing an absolutely positioned text block inside of it. And finally adding the cart icon in it. Simple, right? Now let's remove the Webflow Ecommerce cart from the page and move our new button to its place. To assign the cart opening functionality to the button and the cart item number to the text block, let's open the Shopify app again. Go to the Store Builder section. First, I select the button element and in the app, click the Convert button. In the list, I scroll all the way down to the Cart Components section and select the cart opener element. Next, I select the cart item count displayer and click the Convert button in the app. In the opening list, I scroll down to Cart Components section and select the cart count item. Our conversion process is completed. Let's now hit publish and test our product page live. My thumbnails are working just fine. And the variant option selectors are also functional. The selection is reflected both in the image gallery and the price component. Let's add a variant selection to cart and see the cart pop up in action. It works just fine, but needs a little bit of styling. Let's now test the cart opener element. The quantity controls are also functional. And finally, I want to test the Buy Now button and check out with my selection. From this point on, Shopify picks up the process. In this tutorial, we have covered a basic setup and a simple migration process to Shopify. For more advanced e-commerce features, please visit our documentation. Also, join our Discord channel to get instant support and answers.